Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you with this.
Well, hi there. Welcome back to our first post-Thanksgiving final, guys, where I'm assuming all of us have gotten at least 10 pounds heavier from eating and drinking nonstop. I'm probably pushing 20 pounds myself. Feeling that's what happens when you drink for 9 days straight.
You know what? Thanksgiving's one day.
Yeah, it's me. Well, this week we are talking about Possessor by the Cronenberg Spawn. And I am Jason Brandt, joined as always by Jack NPC.
Hello.
Tim Meyer.
You?
And Hunter Shea.
Gobble hello. I don't know
That was nice.
What the hell was that?
That was a gobble and a hello. I was recognizing last week and this week.
Can you do that again?
Yeah, that was impressive.
Gobble hello.
Very nice. I like.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You guys have any news you want to drop before we get into the show?
I have huge news.
Oh.
And this news is really thanks to you, Mr. Brandt. It's 3 years late, but Sinister Entity and Island of the Forbidden are now back in print.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it.
Officially today, the ebooks and the paperbacks are available, at least on Amazon. That's a big step. Ladies and gentlemen, so
that's
awesome, man.
I kind of forgot about it for 3 years.
Yep, you and me both. I could see you forgetting about it because it was work you had to do, and it wasn't work of your own stuff. But I would just forget it too.
I'd started formatting those for you so long ago that I did the first one, and then I bought software that does it all for me automatically now. But I had to go back through and redo all your shit.
Oh my god!
I just had forgotten for literally 3 years.
Well. They have awesome new covers, which are way better than the original covers. Although I like the original cover of Island of the Forbidden too. But yeah, they're back out in the wild. So Jessica Backman is alive and well, and now I'll be forced to write another one. Now that all three are back out.
Those are like two of my favorite Hunter Shea books too. So I'm glad they're back out in the wild. I have the Sam Hain editions. So
yeah, well now there's gonna be new ones, and they're only
Sinister Entity is
No.
Sinister Entity is my favorite Hunter Shea book.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
It's a great one.
It's dedicated to Jackie.
I read all three of them. They're fine.
They're fine.
Perfect.
They do have sweet covers, though. I do have to say, my cover artist fucking killed those.
Woo. I mean, awesome covers.
Yeah, she was sending them to me, and I was like, can we maybe just keep this one for something I'll write? Because some of them are really good.
Yeah. So I'm very happy for that. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome. Sorry, you readers, for 3 years.
I could finally get off the coming now 2017.
Anyone have anything else?
No, let's do it.
Oh, God damn it. All right. Well, let's jump into some real news then.
All right. Actually, I've got decent news this week.
Get out of here. You lie.
No, seriously.
Like a rug.
Clive Barker officially got Barker from Avia. He's a wicked pisser.
Put him in an armbar.
It's like a spa for your car. He got the rights to Hellraiser back.
Oh.
Officially, he gets them on December 19th.
Get the hell out of here.
Thank God.
He'll get him back officially in a year, I guess. But he's got him.
Oh my God.
So there's I've mentioned this before, but there's going to be a Hellraiser series on HBO coming up with the guy from David Gordon Green from Halloween Kills and Michael Dougherty from Trick or Treat and a guy from Battlestar Galactica. So they're doing that, and then there's also a reboot coming to theater. So I think he's going to have more input on all this stuff. So maybe we'll get some decent Hellraiser stuff. Tim, you watched the Hulu stuff, and I don't think you liked it, did you?
No, the Books of Blood was an abomination. Don't watch it.
So sad.
So thoughts on the Clive Barker news?
Poor Hulu.
I would love it if he took the rights and just said, "That's it. Nothing ever's coming out again. You have defaced my property for too long." Zero.
I find this interesting because wasn't it the oh god, who owned the rights? Was it Dimension or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I feel like it was God, why can't I think of his name? The idiot producer who's in prison now. God damn
Oh,
it.
Harvey Weinstein.
Weinstein. Didn't he own the rights to it? I wonder if they're finally reverting because of all the shit that went down with him.
The Park Avenue Entertainment, the production company that's currently enjoying the rights to the film about a woman under the sway of a resurrected former lover.
Oh.
I heard Weinstein fucked the rights. Like literally.
He at least tried and was very creepy about it.
Print the rights up and put it on soft paper.
They didn't mention that in the story, so I can't confirm that.
I love the idea of Hellraiser. It's just one of the worst series, so I would love for him to at least get a crack at one more movie.
You don't even like the first one?
No, I love the first one and the second one.
Yeah.
But from then on, the series is just so bad.
Yeah, a lot of these series, I'm like, let it go. We've had it do something new. With Hellraiser, I love 1 and 2, and I feel like some of the special effects and a little bit of the movie is a little dated. That I was like, okay, if you could go back and kind of put a different spin on it and put like a little bit more of an edge on it with the special effects and do more of what you wanted to accomplish, I'm kind of open to that. I'm almost more open to the HBO series than doing another movie.
I mean, maybe take out the homeless man who turns into a demon at the end.
Come on. That's part.
Or him eating crickets or whatever.
I honestly don't think the world needs another Hellraiser. I don't even care if it's in Clive's hands at this point, because you also, you lose your fastball after a while, and it's hard to go back. Do like the Great and Secret Show or something like that.
That would be an amazing show.
Do a series on that. That could kill if you did it right.
Yep.
All right. Real quick, Stranger Things season 4 has added to its cast Robert Englund. He's going to be playing Freddy Krueger. Just kidding. He's going to be playing some guy named Victor Creel, a disturbed and intimidating man who's imprisoned in a psychiatric hospital for a gruesome murder in the 1950s.
Oh, okay. How old is he now?
He's getting up there.
Is he going to look like Sid Haig in 3 from Hell? It's going to be one of those where like, I don't want to see this. Turn this off.
I'm going to be talking about him later on. He was in Lake Placid 4.
Oh, boy.
Was he?
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know it's good.
Oh, it's high quality shit.
All right, ready for the bombshell?
Do it.
This is a friggin' bombshell. I'm not using this word lightly this time. Peter Dinklage is going to star in a reboot of The Toxic Avenger.
Heard about this.
He's going to be the mop.
And supposedly they're giving it like a super steeped in environmental themes and subverts the superhero genre in the vein of Deadpool.
Is this going to be a trauma release?
Yes.
Oh, then I have no hope for it.
Yeah, I'm not interested then.
Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hertz will serve as producers.
I think they're producing, but I don't think it's going to be under the Trauma banner.
Let's see if they say it.
Will Lloyd Kaufman direct it while wearing that dress he was on in that documentary I saw him in? Just kept going. Why is no one calling attention to this?
Man, it's probably been 20 years since I watched the last one. The first one, rather.
It was good. I liked it at the time.
Yeah, I enjoyed Toxic Avenger. I've been seeing it since the 80s. I can't wait to see what the hell this looks like, though. This could be great.
I just feel bad. Why is he doing this?
He's really
Money.
funny.
How much money can you possibly make playing like the Toxic Avenger? I don't know. I refuse. I will never again say, "Hey, so and so is at this point in their career where they don't need to make crap."
Oh, I
Just-
thought you meant Lloyd
that's right.
Kaufman, not Dinklage. Okay.
No, Dinklage. I'm like, why is Dinklage doing this?
I don't know. I feel like Lloyd Kaufman's one of those guys who just has a lot of cred with people, and if someone gets a chance to work with him, like for something cool, they do.
Dinklage is probably a fan like we are. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh man, this is
It
gonna be a
could be.
blast. I'm Peter Dinklage. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm gonna
Yeah.
freaking Toxic Avenger.
Like
This is-
we would do Toxic Avenger, but if you'd been in Game of Thrones and Elf, would you do Toxic Avenger?
Can we
I
just?
might.
I think the line of the show for 2020 is, "I'm Peter Dinklage. I can do whatever the hell I want." That is so awesome.
Peter freaking Dinklage.
I hope he says that in real life.
Every day, all day, every day, drinking
I'm
wine.
Peter Dinklage. I put on my pants one leg at a time. Once I put on my pants to make gold records.
Oh God. So
All right.
I mean, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you know we're gonna watch the thing.
Oh,
so,
you're gonna watch
I'll
it.
get
yeah.
it featured.
yeah, whatever. Bring it on. Maybe he'll add some class, some gravitas to this character.
Khaleesi's also going to be in it. I forgot to mention that.
In
All right, that's all I got. Let's do the next thing.
Well, as Sheridan is reminding us, I totally forgot the drinking words because I'm the best.
oh
the
wow,
Wow.
I will read them if you want.
Let's do it.
All right. If Jack says the words holiday, Mandy, or gravy, because whenever he thinks about Mandy, he makes gravy. Drink.
Oh,
If I say practice, turkey, or kid, take a drink. Jason, if you say kill, mother, or matrix, y'all got a drink. By the way, I love Tim's name today is Hot Stubble.
Accurate.
Mm.
Oh, there's no comment here. So I don't know whether the words are bean and box or bean box and mind.
I'm going to punch you in the bean box.
Quit touching your bean box.
There's no comma between box and mine, so that's all
Bean box
one.
mine.
Yeah,
A
bean
good
box.
old
Yeah.
beanbox mind. And then the bonus words is actually a sentence. The Cronenberg family assassin.
Somebody
no,
was
punctuation is everything, Sharon.
somebody was playing his own drinking game when he wrote these.
That's the thing of beauty. Thank you, Sheridan. All right, ready to jump into some reviews?
Gravy, gravy,
Oh,
gravy.
yeah.
All right, let's get this Cronenberg family assassin going.
We have such sights to show you.
Tim,
Yo.
please give us something good. Wait,
Oh,
what the
man.
hell's going on with Hunter?
What's going on with him?
That's reading Norm's thing. She was all beanbox. I don't know why that hit me so hard. Never mind.
Are
There
you done?
go.
Yes.
Are you
Sorry.
finished? All right.
I'm done.
All right. So, this past week, I actually got to watch an entire series. Actually, I got to watch two series, which I'm going to be talking about. And my buddy Chad Lutsky actually recommended both of them to me. So, the first one is actually Hannibal on Netflix. I had never watched it before. I actually had watched like maybe the first 4 episodes back when it first came out and just abandoned it for some reason. But I went back and watched this, and this show is amazing. I enjoyed pretty much every episode. I wasn't expecting it to be so like art housey, but it's like every shot is like so beautifully done, and it's very artistic. And that was kind of like an added bonus to the story. And I really love the Thomas Harris novels, and I love all the movies that they made except for like Hannibal Rising. Actually, I didn't like that book either. That was kind of like the one I didn't like, but everything else I really enjoyed. And I really love the way they played with this world and kind of made it different but still the same. And yeah, I if you haven't seen it, just spend the next week of your life watching it because it's really phenomenal.
I
I
watched.
love the guy who played Hannibal Lecter in that.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen.
But he-
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was so good.
Yeah, he really was. And like early on, I wasn't like that enthused, but like as the show like went on and as he I guess got more into it, like by the end of the show I was like, wow, he's great Hannibal Lecter. Not as good as Brian Cox, but I mean,
Who can be?
I watched the first few seasons of that, really enjoyed it. Then I don't know if they were messing around with when the show was on and when it wasn't. I kind of lost track of it. So I didn't really see I don't know if it was the last 2 seasons or definitely the last one. I saw bits and pieces. The whole one, once Mason Verger got involved, I didn't see much of that stuff. And it went to some strange places.
yeah.
But I did see like the very last episode. And they leave it open. There's always talk about them bringing it back for another season, like they want Netflix or somebody to rescue it. But so I don't know how the last season is overall. But Gillian Anderson was in the last.
She's in throughout. I think she's in every season, or at least
That's
the
why I
last
started
2.
watching, and I was like, I only got like halfway through the first season or something. I was like, where is she?
Yeah,
Why am I watching
she was really good in it. Like she did an amazing job. That all the actors and actresses did a great job with it.
And the gore in that, the kills.
I couldn't believe when I was watching it that I was watching like a show that was on like network television. It was so violent, and they don't pull any punches at all with the violence and the gore. So that was another cool thing I liked about the show.
But it doesn't have a satisfying ending.
It kind of it ends like open-endedly, but it also ends in a way that I think you could be satisfied with it. I was trying to think of like, did they know they were going to get canceled when they ended it? I didn't.
I think they did. They tried to at least
to
tie
wrap
it up. Enough.
Yeah, I mean, so like there is an ending to it, but also it ends in a way that's like, like Jack said. I mean, they could do a 4th season easily with it, and I think they had intended to do that because I think they wanted to do like the Silence of the Lambs part, which they didn't touch at all.
They didn't have the rights to Silence of the Lambs characters,
right? Yep.
But now there's going to be a show on NBC or something called Clarice, which is going to be like Clarice after Silence of the Lambs and before Hannibal. And I'm like, well, why are you doing this?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, didn't NBC do Hannibal too?
Yeah,
I think it was.
I think they got the rights back to it, but it's later. It was like recently. I think they got the rights back to it.
If they could get that, and I'd love to see their spin on Buffalo Bill and all that.
That would be so good because I really love the Red Dragon stuff. And at the end of the 3rd season, they did a good job like following very closely to the book, which I thought was cool because a lot of the other stuff in it is kind of goes like in weird, strange places, and they play with a lot of the characters and their relationships with each other. But the Red Dragon stuff was actually pretty accurate.
Maybe they'll do like a Buffalo Bob sitcom. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be great. As long as Ted Levine can be in it, I don't care.
3-camera, laugh track.
I will watch anything Ted Levine is in.
Same.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
It's so good. I want that guy to like narrate my life, just like follow me around and just like.
Dude, he plays. It's basically I almost said Hunter Shea. It's pretty much the same thing. Who the hell does he play? He's in a movie called Banshee Chapter, and he's playing. God, who the hell is it? It's not him, but it's totally him. Damn it, Johnny Depp shot him out of a cannon when he died. Why can't I think of his fucking name?
Oh, Hunter Thompson.
Yes, Hunter Thompson. He's basically playing Hunter Thompson in this little low budget horror movie, and he is so good. If you haven't seen Banshee Chapter, check it out because just for him alone, it's so worth it.
I love Hunter S. Thompson, so.
Oh yeah.
But as for the Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal stuff, the reason I never watched the show and I don't give a shit about any of this stuff is I read Hannibal the book, and the end of that, I was like, "Is this a joke? What?" Like, so I have not given a shit since. That was such a crazy.
I threw the book across the room. I threw the book across the room and I stared at the wall for 5 minutes with my mouth open, going, "What the hell just happened?"
That book is still there. I was just at Jack's house.
Yeah.
Yes,
all that
touched
time.
it since.
That and at Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to care about any of this stuff ever since I read that book.
Dude, it's this is fun. I think you would enjoy it actually, and it'd give you a good opportunity to watch something that's good.
Thing is that I read the Hannibal book and had that reaction. Then I saw the movie and I went, actually, they should have ended it like the book.
I'm not a huge Hannibal fan, but from what I watched of the series, it was excellent.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
All right.
I'm glad I watched it. And Lutsky's got some good recommendations. I can tell you that.
Yeah, is it better than Amityville?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
High bar.
All right, Jack, what do you got?
Lutsky's recommendations.
I mean, let's be
Hit or
Lutsky.
miss. Hit or miss.
Can't wait till you're on the
Salt.
show, dude.
Tim's going to be real quiet because he wants to write a second book with him. So
Want me to go?
Yep, take it.
Tim, you mentioned a movie a couple weeks ago called His House, Ghost Story on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
I watched it. Holy
Ooh.
crap, that's a good movie.
Good stuff, right?
Wow. Watch this movie. It is good.
Which one? What was the name of it?
It's called His House.
His house.
His house.
His
and
House.
his ass.
So this is so many ghost stories now are white family goes to the country, moves in big house, and it's haunted, whatever. This is like refugees coming out of where the heck is it? Like the Sudan or something like that.
Yeah.
War-torn Africa. And they're refugees in England.
Mhm.
And they're put in like this like government housing that's like really run down. And so you're dealing with everything that they had to deal with to get out of the country and what they're dealing with culturally to adjust to life in the new country and things like that. So if this movie had no ghosts or anything in it, it would be a great movie. But I probably wouldn't watch it because it's too serious and highbrow for me. But then you put ghosts in it, I watch it and I learn stuff.
I learned stuff.
That is perfect, dude.
The ghost stuff,
In it, and I learned stuff.
I learned stuff.
That should go on your tombstone.
It's
Put ghosts in it. I learned stuff.
man.
Scribbling it right now.
So the cinematography, the aspect ratio. Brant, you're gonna like this movie.
Yeah.
Really well
Yeah.
shot. The ghost
Great
stuff they
aspect.
do is so good.
Yeah.
And there might be a couple of pockets of pacing where you're like, I don't know. So it's not a perfect movie, but this is a really good movie. You should watch it. And I was floored. I was expecting a good movie, but I wasn't expecting that good a movie. I really liked it.
Yeah, I was kind of blown away by it too. And like I was just so surprised that Netflix actually put out like a pretty decent movie because they don't have a good track record.
Did they buy it or did they make it? I bet they bought it.
They bought it. All right. So Jason, I was actually thinking of you too, because you know how earlier I mentioned how I learned stuff.
Mm.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah, barely.
Well, while I was learning things, I wasn't being hit over the head with it.
Mm.
It was
Wow,
like
subtle learning.
subtly presented to me.
Oh, so
And-
actual filmmaking, not just
Yes.
preaching.
Like subtext and layers. It was like an onion. It had layers.
That never happens anymore.
So
I thought the acting was really good in it too, like top notch.
and then there's a moment where you kind of learn more about what's going on. That's the magic moment that you're like, oh wow.
Is this good enough? We should think about doing a main feature on it sometime.
Yeah, we could. I'd be fine with doing a main feature on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe if we don't have something in a couple weeks, we can.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Good to
forward to
know.
seeing something good on Netflix because they just raised my costs again, another
Yeah.
$1. I swear to God, I am so close.
You're not gonna do it. Don't fucking lie.
So close.
I feel like just a battered spouse at this point. Like I watch a movie on there, I'm like, this sucks, and then I get an email, oh, we're raising your cost. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, there'll be the great culling of the streaming platforms in the next couple of years because everybody can't keep up with this. You can't.
No, it's
have all these
ridiculous.
things.
Apple TV, come on.
Yeah.
CBS All Access.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to pay to watch Star Trek.
I'm definitely buying that for the stand. I can tell you that.
Is
Good
that
for
going to be
you.
on CBS? Oh God.
Yeah, it comes out like next week, I think.
Guess who won't be watching it?
Guess who will be watching it?
Oh, I'll just read the extended version of the book again.
Hunter, please tell me you got something good.
Let me tell you, Tim briefly mentioned Art House before, and I have Art House for you. Or maybe Fart House. I'm not sure. Have you guys heard of Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter?
Oh yes,
I've heard of it.
yeah, I've seen it.
I don't think
Yeah.
I have heard of it.
I was tooling around Amazon one day, and I'm like, oh, well, this looks fine. It's 2:00 in the afternoon, and I want to take a break from working. I thought it was new because it had, escaped my radar. I'm like, this movie's like 20 years old. It's a Canadian horror. I don't even know if it's really horror comedy, but what's happening is this cabal of vampires are like targeting and murdering all the lesbians in town. So
Fuck.
I don't remember that.
I'm not even kidding you.
It's based on a
And-
true story.
Yeah. So a priest goes down to the water, and Jesus is baptizing some woman in the ocean or whatever. And he says, Jesus, we need you to help us. All these lesbians are being targeted by these vampires. So Jesus just kind of chucks this woman in the water and goes off. First thing he does is has his head shaved and gets earrings put in both his ears. So he looks like, and we were watching it and I'm going, he's shorter than even the smallest woman in this movie.
This takes place like in Jesus times.
No, this takes place now. They're running through parks in Canada and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it took place during Jesus times, he couldn't use a crucifix.
This is
Ah.
They don't exist yet.
Yeah. Well,
You
You
put
know.
more thought into it than anyone in
But
this movie.
if
did.
he just did this, he would scare them away.
dude, he looks like
I need to see a vampire movie where Jesus just
they
They
just
all
explode.
I
explode.
shall
Yeah.
extend my arms again.
turns himself into a cross to kill vampires.
Well, this Jesus. This movie is shot like an exploitation flick from the 70s. So there's a lot of Jesus karate in this.
Jesus
There's-
karate.
There's one point where he's being assisted by this girl, Mary Magnum, who's dressed in like this red leather onesie. She looks
What?
hot as hell. I'm not kidding. So she's helping him out, and they're fighting in the park. And the best part is there's tons of people fighting, but in the background, there's kids playing, there's families having picnics. Like they're not even paying attention to the
this at
silliness
night?
being filmed behind them. This is during the day because these
The
vampires.
vampires are out during the day. They're day
Yeah.
walkers.
They're day walkers. So eventually he also gets helped out by a giant Mexican wrestler, the guys who wear those masks.
Oh, like Nacho Grande or
Like a
whatever.
luchador.
yeah,
Nacho Libre.
it's unbelievable. And there are musicals in this too. So every now and then it will break out into a musical number. I thought this movie, like within the first 5 minutes, I went, oh crap, this looks awful. I was enthralled to the very end. It's really,
Does he ever say, "By the power of me compels you"?
he doesn't do that. Jesus gets his ass kicked a lot in this movie. A lot. And it's very random. Sometimes he'll raise someone from the dead, but someone important to him when they die, they're just
All he
kinda
needs
dead.
is a garden hose and his finger, and he could make holy
He did-
water.
He did turn the ocean into holy water and killed a couple of
Mm.
vampires at one point. So he did do that. But most of the time, he's just walking around in like a tracksuit, getting his balls kicked up into his neck. It's kind of weird.
Kind
But
of.
dude, if you're gonna just sit down with a couple of friends and just power down some nice high octane beers, you're gonna love this movie. It's actually, I'd watch this again. It's so silly.
I'm in.
Yeah, it was fun.
I only vaguely remember this movie. I probably saw it when it came out when I was in college. So I was probably hammered too.
So is this before Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, like a decade, something like that, maybe more. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I only vaguely remember parts of it. I remember not being super impressed, but getting some laughs out of it. But we need to make this Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter movie ourselves because Jack is throwing out some killer ideas right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a-
rights.
I have a question. So if it's a person who looks like Jesus that does that, it will have the same effect because
Like
a crucifix.
Lutsky?
Yeah. Because a crucifix
They
isn't
would
the
just
actual
laugh.
Jesus.
Well, this Jesus looked like he worked for H&R Block, so he did not look like Jesus at all.
Oh.
Hmm.
But when he would walk into places, like he'd walk into a nightclub and like this like waitress would go, "Hey there, how you doing, Jesus?" I'm like, how the hell does he know who he is?
How do they explain that Jesus Christ is here? Like, is it the second coming, or is it just
He's
kind
just
of?
always been like loitering around. Oh, and he
Yeah.
scats on stage in a jazz club, which was
Oh God.
priceless.
Oh God.
Jazz?
But this was as I was going through Amazon, I picked that and Inhuman Witch. which I'm saving for next week. I watched that, so I'll tell you how Inhumanwich is. It's a. I think the thumbnail is a rocket ship and then like a sloppy Joe coming out of it.
Okay. If these movies can get made and get distribution somehow, there's no reason we can't do Jesus Christ Dracula Killer or something like that.
Yeah.
With Lutsky, doing the cross.
I can see my Mop movie. It's coming now.
This is
Professor Van Halen.
Yeah. We definitely need to make this happen. Okay. It's time.
Oh, here we go.
Jesus.
Bring the show right down.
Jesus Christ.
You guys are bringing in all this good stuff, and I'm going to hit you with Lake Placid 3.
He follows up Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter saying, you guys bring us all this good stuff.
I mean, compared to this,
Thought.
it's got to be. Let's see. What can I say about this? So here's the problem. I watched both of these one night after the next before our Thanksgiving break. So I've kind of blended them in my mind. But the good news is the story is all the same. Same lake, obviously. Wow, that's a nice look on her face there.
Yeah.
There are crocodiles. They eat people. The stories continuously just keep copying each other. So there's the hunter guy who's looking to get to bag himself a croc, and there's the sheriff and the sheriff's family. It's just the same garbage. Oh yeah, I totally forgot what the hell's his name. God damn it, Richter. Why is my name not working?
Oh, Colin Ferguson.
Michael Ironside.
I was going to say Starship Trooper guy.
Ironside.
So I'll take that. But this one was rough. I'm not going to lie. This is one of those movies that I just kind of keep glancing at my phone like,
I'm not going to lie.
oh, look at that. This is sci-fi channel stuff. And, back in the day, sci-fi could be very hit or miss with the humor you get out of these movies. And this was just like, not that funny. But they decided to do something amazing. And they have this female hunter in this book who's hired by some dudes to do, I don't know, whatever stupid shit, get bag a croc or something. I don't remember. And she kills one of these giant things with a knife by herself in a house. She like cuts off its head. And then at the end, she's in a grocery store fighting one, and she manages to kill it with a knife, but it looks like it eats her entire lower half. So another character runs in and finds her dead, just half of her. And I rewound this twice to make sure I was seeing this right, because she's alive in the fourth movie. So
the same character?
The same character.
Oh.
So I'm going to leave that cliffhanger and throw it back to you, Tim.
Jesus Christ Crocodile Hunter found her and resurrected her.
He healed her. He's everywhere. I love Jesus.
Crikey. It's a vampire.
I love Jesus.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
Jesus.
next on the wheel.
Well, I got something good and something it's not even necessarily, I wouldn't really consider it horror, but it's like horror adjacent because it has to do with cults. But I watched Waco on Netflix. Have you guys
not even heard of this?
Or has that been around?
It's pronounced Wacko.
It's new-ish. I think 2019 or earlier this year, maybe. I don't know.
2018.
I've heard good things about this.
18. Oh yeah. Well, like that's the crazy thing is because this was so well done and so good that I am surprised that more people aren't talking about it. When it first hit Netflix, I wanted to watch it, but for some reason, just didn't get around to doing it. But oh my God, I think it's like 6 episodes. They're each like an hour long. But this from top to bottom is an incredible story. Didn't know like a whole lot, like the story behind it. Like I obviously have heard of it, and I know the basic story. But this like it really gets in there. It doesn't choose a side between like the FBI and the
Michael Shannon.
Yeah, Michael Shannon plays the hostage negotiator, and he kills it. Like,
and who plays
plays
Koresh? Is
Janet
that
Reno?
Napoleon Dynamite?
no, it's Taylor Kitsch plays.
Kitsch?
Oh,
Kitsch, yeah. He does a phenomenal job as well. There's like a lot of good actors and actresses in it. One guy from Castle. Yeah, like Leguizamo's in it. He has a good role. The one guy from Castle Rock season 2. I don't know if you guys saw that. He played like the main bad guy.
Oh, that guy.
You never saw it?
No.
Never saw it?
Nope.
Oh. He's pretty good. I forget his name. Rory Culkin's in it. He does a really good job. Her from Ozark. Yeah.
Julia Garner.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, this is so
There's quite a
good.
cast in this. Damn.
The cast is great.
Yeah.
And like the writing on it is phenomenal. Like the dialogue is so authentic, and just like the storytelling in general is just great. And I didn't want it to end. I felt like it could have been another 6 hours long, and I would have definitely watched it. So
Did it have a surprise ending?
no, that it did not.
Quentin Tarantino make it, and the ending is totally different.
That'd be
from
great if Shyamalan like directed it and just yeah.
It's
He's
definitely
alive.
like if you have a soul, unlike you fucks.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
Wow.
I'm
Oh,
joking.
I think you should
I'm
be directing
joking.
that 100 Shay and not me and Jason.
All right.
First of all,
If you're not like Hunter, you might
I've
shed a
raised
tear
two
at the
lovely
end of this.
women, by the way. I've accomplished more than all of you. So there you go.
But
And they're both for sale.
How much for the little girl? I want to buy her women.
My girl.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
check that out.
Should be talked about more for
Are
sure.
there ghosts in it?
No ghosts, sir.
You'll learn nothing.
But definitely a cool cult story for sure.
The
I didn't even know that
ghost
was
of
a thing.
I was going to say the ghost of Janet Reno's decision lingers over the
Oh.
entire production.
Damn. All right, who was up? Jack?
I think it's me.
Jack, Papa Smurf.
All right.
Smurf.
So I got my HBO Max, and on Thanksgiving, my socially distanced family get together. We watched The Witches on HBO Max, the 2020 Anne Hathaway version.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I am really glad I watched this with normies because none of my family is into horror like I am. My niece and nephew, who are in their 20s, grew up listening to this book, and especially my nephew, like when he was little, the book scared the hell out of him. Nobody in the room besides me was even aware of the original movie. And I was like, what? How did you not know about this?
Possible.
I couldn't believe it. So I was watching it with a room full of people that didn't have the baggage I had of watching it, thinking, how do you top the original? My overall review of this is that it is a fine family entertainment movie that you can show kids and adults. It's got a couple of scary moments, but it does not have the edge that the original one has. Anne Hathaway's over the top. She's like having a lot of fun, and she's good. Octavia Spencer's great as the grandmother, but it lacks the edge that the original one had. Part of it is because the original had all those like Henson special effects. So everything was practical. And listen, I couldn't remember the second half of that movie, but I remember the first half so vividly because it jumps right in, and there's a lot of really scary. And I saw the movie when I was like in my 20s, and I really enjoyed it. It was so well done. I kind of forgot how it ended. So when this movie ended, I actually went back and looked up how the movie ended, the 90s one or whatever. And I think this one ends a little bit more true to the book. I think the original had to compromise a little bit with their ending. So if you're picking which is the better one, I'd say the 90s, but that one probably, I don't know how that would play with modern kids watching something that looks kind of dated to them. I don't know. It might be good to show them this first and then go, you want to see the really scary version? And then show them that. When I showed my nephew the picture of Angelica Houston, because he was like, he saw it, he goes, oh my God, that's horrifying. Why would you do that? But everybody in my family enjoyed it. It was a fun watch. Now they're normies, like I said. They're not overthinking this. They had a good time and they moved on. And if you mention it, it'd be like, oh yeah, that was fun. So they got what they needed out of it. If you're like us, you might think about it more and nitpick it more, but it's just a fun watch. Not as good as the original one, but You know what part is? The CG effects aren't going to age well with this. There's like a snake moment in it that clearly I'm like, in like 5 years, you're going to watch this and be like, that looks so fake. But I like Anne Hathaway was a lot of fun. It's worth a watch if you got HBO Max.
I'm looking at it. It's not reviewing all that well. It shocks me because I didn't even know this was a Robert Zemeckis film. That guy's one of the greatest ever. So it's kind of weird to hear that this is
130.
It's because it's a kid movie. It is a family kid movie, and it doesn't have the teeth of the original. So that's why I think there's some people that like it more than others. I think if you just go in looking for something to watch tonight, you're fine. If you're setting the bar higher than that, you're probably going to be disappointed.
All right. Stroker Ace, what do you got?
I've dedicated this month to UFOs. It's been we had Ryan Sprague on Monster Men. I read Travis Walton's book. I've been reading a bunch of other books. So I've been hearing about this documentary by James Fox called The Phenomenon, which everybody has been, even outside the UFO community. By the way, I'm going to dork out on this stuff. So if you're not into UFOs, you can just ignore me. But this is a documentary that what it does was he kind of cherry picks he's trying to give you a basis for the history of the phenomenon. Like he'll pick the McMinnville case and, oh God, I forget the Lonnie Zamora case. Like he picks little things like that. But then in the first half of the film, and through this, he's finding clips of interviews with people and people testifying before Congress I had never seen before. Like he took him 8 years to make this movie. So it's one of the most thoroughly researched movies on this topic I've ever seen. But then it takes us to present day with, 2017 with the government admitting that they're actually studying these things and the change of the UAPs, which I thought was great, and fantastic interviews with politicians. They got the Clintons in there. And then he ends it with this case of this sighting where this thing landed outside his schoolyard. I think it was in Zimbabwe. This was 20 or 25 years ago. And he has the footage of them interviewing the kids then and the teachers and then now. And that part raised every hair on my body just watching that. If you're into UFOs, this is the thing to watch. It was like $20 to stream it at one point. And I was waiting. Now you can get it for like I think $4.99 or something like that. It was well worth the watch. I'm actually going to buy the Blu-ray because I hear there's like 3 hours of stuff that he just couldn't put in this movie because it would be just too much. But for a complete dork like me, but it's actually treated intelligently. Maybe it's a little one-sided. I could have had like a little more of a skeptical kind of person on there, somebody on the line, but just the way they laid out the information and what they were bringing into this, and just some of these clips that they found were just astounding to me. So I highly suggest The Phenomenon. It was really good.
To check that out.
Yeah, it's on my list to watch. I really have fallen off the alien stuff over the last few years.
Well, there's a reason. Like this will get you back on, but then I go, hey, Amazon does. You'll like this, and I turn them on. I'm like, oh no, this is why I bail out every now and then. I can't stand this.
I've known this schmuck for a long time, and one of my favorite things in conversation with him is when he just drops the casually like, oh yeah, it's like the McKinnon case, like everybody friggin' knows it. Let's say. You're like going, oh yeah, that of course, yes,
yeah, totally. You're not following.
Yeah, I need to check this out. It's reviewed pretty well, so
yeah, it's excellent.
Alrighty, while I talk about Lake Placid 4, who gives a shit? You should, Hunter, go yell at somebody to lay off the Netflix in your house because your connection's getting rough.
That again? That's it. Heads are rolling. I'll be right back.
Good luck. You're going to miss some really good stuff here, so sorry.
Yeah, and now this is perfect timing.
All right. Lake Placid 4, the final chapter.
Is it though? Is it the final chapter?
There are two more I have to do next week. But this one does bring in the incomparable Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund.
Oh, Hunter can't make a snide comment about it.
Now, he plays a hunter in this. I know. We haven't seen this story before in this series, but this one is at least a little bit different because the people of this town have wised up a tad, and there's now this giant electrical fence around Lake Placid to keep the crocs in. The problem is it doesn't work worth a crap, and as best I could tell, it's not keeping people out of the lake because there's like a party where people are getting killed. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But the female hunter from the last movie who was bitten in half and is dead is now back playing the same character who is now an EPA agent, I think. I don't know why, but she's back as, one of the main characters. And what more can I say?
They didn't explain it?
They fight crocs. Not that I remember. But again, these movies were a little hard to watch.
So you were checking your phone instead of watching is basically what you're saying.
I try really hard not to when I watch these movies because I want to be able to review them honestly and not just be like, "As shit."
So I might not learn anything from watching this one.
Probably not.
Not again.
Probably not. But we're now down to
There's no ghosts in it. That's why.
the nephew. The nephew of Betty White's sister is now the person living in the house on Lake Placid. So we're going pretty far down the food chain.
It's a shame it's the last one, right?
Yeah, I so wish I hadn't already purchased Lake Placid versus Anaconda.
That's the thing?
Which will be next week.
What?
Yeah.
I think I might have seen part of that.
Really?
I think it might have been on Sci-Fi. I know I've heard of it, but I feel like I've seen something of it.
Sounds like a winner.
Nothing beats John Boyd's death in Anaconda.
I saw Anaconda in the theater.
So did I.
I did too.
I'm just going to share something with you guys here real quick. Looks like Robert Englund's back in Lake Placid.
Oh, and he's got one eye.
Yeah. So apparently he does not die at the end of Lake Placid 4 either. So they're now doing a thing where a character clearly dies, and yet they're back in the sequel somehow.
That's like Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
That's their thing.
They figured
Apparently
nobody
it is. So someone take it away. Oh, no. Tim.
Yeah, I'm going to go real quick. I read a book this week. It is called The Worm and His Kings. No, all.
Not
Just
all.
The Worm and His Kings by Haley Piper. This book is short. It's only about 110 pages, so it's like a novella. Published by Off Limits Press, who also did Laurel Hightower's Crossroads. So they're putting out some good stuff, and this book was really fun. It's about a woman who is essentially homeless, and she has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend goes missing underground somewhere, and the woman is tasked to go find her, and she thinks that she's been taken by this taloned creature who lives in like the sewer, and it is insane. It's got like cults. It's very Lovecraftian. I got a really cool Clive Barker vibe to it, and like vintage Clive Barker, like Midnight Meat Train Clive Barker. So yeah, I don't know. It's a short read. I read it in a couple days, and it was really fun. It's cosmic horror. That's where a lot of the Lovecraftian stuff comes in, with like the cults and creatures, and just read it. It's good.
Cool.
Damn,
I've
that's
been
a
seeing
lot
that
of story.
around.
Yeah. It's it was well worth the purchase. That's for sure.
I mean, in 100 pages, you have a disappearance, Lovecraft, cults, cosmic horror.
I know that's the thing. Like, it's super short, but there's a lot in there to unpack, and I was really impressed with the whole thing, and it's written really well as well. So,
Nice.
Yeah,
She learned how to do that by reading Swamp Monster Massacre.
clearly,
Just saying.
clearly.
What do you got, Jack?
I also read a book. Tim had mentioned it just now.
Whoa,
Crossroads, Laurel Hightower.
same
God.
publisher.
Damn it!
Started in
I wanted
February.
to piss I'm to piss Jason off by sending more love Laurel Hightower's way.
God. This is ridiculous.
We love you, Laurel.
Just put on your seatbelt because here comes the love. This is such a freaking good book. I'm going to echo what has already been said. This is tug at your heartstrings. Oh my God. I'm getting the feels. You guys should be taking notes on how to do characters from this book.
We should.
You get into the head of this character, the loss and the desperation that she feels. I see what you're doing. So quickly, you get into the headspace and are with this character. I was so impressed. Like 4 pages in, and you're like, "All right, I'm on board. I know about this. What's going on here?" It dives right in, and then this whole parent losing a child, the feelings, the desperation to get a child back, the supernatural stuff, and then the dread just starts to build, and there's this like fog of dread over this whole story. You just feel like this is not going to end well, and it's kind of a Crossroads suggests the Crossroads deal with the devil kind of stuff. Oh man, and you said, yeah, this sucker is what
it's a home run.
100 and something pages.
See,
home run. What a great book. I really enjoyed this. This is my signed copy. It's going in the
Wait,
vault.
We didn't get
Wait.
copy.
Signed copy?
I paid for this. I wrote to her and I asked her for a signed copy, sent her some Kizash, which I wouldn't do for you guys.
No, really.
Free one. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
Jim, Dead Daughters. Let's talk afterwards. But that is not why I love the book. If I didn't love the book, I wouldn't have reviewed it on the show. I would have just been like, hey, thanks. And not mentioned it ever again.
We need to put a halt to this Hightower shit.
No, man, she needs to do more stuff. This is so good. And listen, she's the coolest person. That besides that, she could be an idiot. This is a great book either way. Like, I mean, like
Great book, you're an idiot.
the fact that she's great. She's a great book. Read this book. Read this.
She gave you chocolate. We know what's
Yeah.
going on.
No, that is nothing
Totally
to do with it.
conditioned you like a dog.
Look,
I agree.
telling
The
you.
book's phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
I'm holding it up so people know.
I refuse to read it now. This is just if she is at Scares next year, she needs to buy us a lot of beer. I'm just saying, this is
Yeah.
getting out of control.
I blurbed her book. I bought 20 copies and I just wrote my own blurb with a marker. I just threw it in Barnes and Noble. So I'm getting a lot of wreck for that.
All right.
She deserves a lot of credit because she puts up with those two knuckleheads on her podcast.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
God bless her. So,
Yeah.
read a book.
Shane and Rich. Sound
All
like a
right.
country act.
Stroker.
All right. I read a
Stroker.
book too. Mine's
All
the
right.
littlest of all the books. So Brian Keene has a nonfiction book out called The Triangle of Belief.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about this. Talk to me.
So this is about him and his girlfriend, Mary San Giovanni, also phenomenal horror writer. They went out to dinner one night, and this is 2018. Go back to his place, and Brian lives like in the woods, in the woods by the river,
Next to Jason.
and they live
He's not that
where
far
Jason used to live. And they see these triangles in the sky, these huge triangles that are flying super low and make no noise. And it has this profound effect on Brian. And what this does in 80 pages, he tells the story of, he starts with this, but then it goes back to things that happened to him as a kid and how it ties into belief and religion and how the effect that it's had on him. This is a superb book. It's 80 freaking pages. So I read this, I fired it up on my Kindle, read it, did not move till it was done. And then I tweeted out immediately. And I wrote to Brian. Like, it was like one of those tweet, write to Brian.
Name dropper.
It's crazy. Name dropper. And the coolest thing was when I tweeted out, Thunderstorm says, we'll send you a copy. So they sent me, and I just got it today, a signed hardcover of The Triangle of Belief.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Awesome book. I said this is going to be, because I actually have a UFO shelf. So there were top shelf and bottom shelf, and some that just go in storage. this will be on the top shelf because I thought, as far as a firsthand eyewitness account, and not just saying, "Oh my God, I saw aliens," it makes you question a lot of things, and it was helping him tie a lot of things in his life together.
See, I want to read this because Hunter, I have said this to you a million times. I've never seen a ghost. I've never seen a UFO, but I'll use a ghost as an example.
Mhm.
If I ever actually see a ghost, that's all I'm ever going to talk about to people. You're gonna be like, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jack Campese. I saw a ghost. Do you realize that there's ghosts? There's an afterlife. Do you believe? What are the ramifications of that? What does that mean for religion? Can you believe that?" I'm like, "Oh, well, what about my relatives? They're dead."
The funny thing is, in this book, Brian's talking about how he has seen a ghost and he has seen this UFO, and I just had to be like, "Dude, me too." And it turns out quite a few other writers have written to him since then, saying that they've experienced many of the same things. It was really weird. Like, I was like freaking out by a lot of the comparisons of this book to my own weird life. You can laugh, Tim, out there. I hope that
I'm
you're
laughing at
buggers you.
Lutsky's comment. That's what I was laughing
Oh, what
at.
did he say?
Just imagine how much you could learn if you actually saw a ghost, Jack.
I'm telling him I could join Mensa if I actually see a ghost.
Oh, that's so funny. But anyway, triangle of belief.
All right. Hunter likes UFO.
Cool.
stuff.
Can I
Lives
borrow it?
alive.
Because he never gave me chocolate, so I'm not going to get a signed copy from him.
That's right. Give you a punch in the nuts.
All right, let me finish this off. I watched a good movie after.
What?
Get the
I
fuck
know.
out of here.
I had to
need
pick
to.
one.
That's not your shtick.
I know, but I felt like my soul was eroding a little bit, so I picked one that I think Hunter watched.
Oh, that's a
Me
great
and
movie.
Jack, we love this.
Oh, you
It's in my top. Yeah, both of us.
I finally got around to it. God damn, did I love this movie. The writing is so goddamn good. The dialogue, particularly the first, really the whole movie's dialogue, but the beginning when it's just the two main characters played by Bill Skarsgård and is it Micah Monroe?
Yes.
Micah Monroe is just out of this world good. Their interactions are top shelf. The humor is the best. And I was 100% into this movie. Even once it starts getting into the horror stuff, it maintains its humor,
Oh, yeah.
even as it gets weird and
Yeah.
a little violent, not too bad. But once Keira Sedgwick and Jeffrey Donovan come in, it just, the movie, I want to say kicks up a gear action-wise. It does, intensity-wise. But it's really the humor that just had me held in this movie. There's a scene where Bill Skarsgård and Micah Monroe are trying to think of a way out of their situation. So they get out Coke. And the moment Bill Skarsgård finishes doing a line, this epiphany hits him. Like, and it was just so well done and hilarious that
Yeah.
I am pissed I did not watch this earlier. I freaking love this movie.
I gotta watch it. What is it on?
I rented it. It was like, it says right there, $2.
Oh, all right. I'm watching that this week.
It was in the Alamo for 3 days. I caught it on the last day. I think it was the last day. I was so lucky. By the way, I will pay good money for you and Tim to reenact the roadside scene, and Tim can do car wash on you. Tim's face is like, what? When you watch it, you'll know.
Yeah.
And
It's-
what's the guy? What's his name? Jeffrey Donovan.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's great.
Yeah. Most of us would know him from Burn Notice. You would know him from Blair Witch 2.
I would. That, and he was on. He was in Fargo season 2. He's phenomenal.
Yes, and Blair Witch. What's a Book of Shadows?
It's a good movie, motherfucker.
No, it isn't. Nobody thinks that.
I do.
Awesome.
That's why we love you. You die on your hill.
Anyone have anything else?
That's it.
No.
All right. Let's jump into Possessor.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
And I think we may have dropped him. No.
He went to go watch Blair Witch 2.
He's probably trying to find his steel book right now.
I haven't seen it in 3 weeks.
All right. Well, while he's taking care of business, how about Jack? You give us a little description
Oh God.
of Possessor.
Good luck.
So hit yourself over the head with a frying pan and look straight at a light, and then Then turn the lights off. And what you see there, that's so we're in a world, it's like the not too distant future where a corporation will insert like technology into a person who can then be taken over and possessed by another agent of theirs who's hooked up to a machine who can then operate in their body. So this person will study the subject, and the purpose of this is to use them as assassins, like for corporate espionage kind of stuff and things like that. So that's kind of the premise. And then we're following one of the best assassins that this corporation has. We meet her in one of her missions, and then she comes out and she's got some issues. And then we follow her into her next mission where things kind of go haywire. This is Cronenberg's kid, and it runs in the family. So you're getting what you're paying for here. This movie is a trip. So I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks, and I'll chime in with my opinion when you prompt me.
We're throwing a curveball, Jack. What you think?
I loved it.
Oh,
I thought it was a great
whoa.
movie. I thought this was great. I really dug it. This is I saw there's two versions of this movie. There's a cut and an uncut version. I saw it on Amazon. I think I saw the cut version, but I heard that the uncut version is only like a minute longer, and what I missed was some genitalia.
Well, was it cut or uncut genitalia?
I don't know, but I hear it's pretty graphic.
Well, okay. There's your Christmas gift.
I don't even want to get into it too much. I'm just gonna say, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I really enjoyed it. The character work, the thought that went into this world was really interesting, and I was riveted the whole time. So I thumbs up. I liked it.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, I also really liked it. I don't know if I liked it as much as Jack did, but I also feel like I need another viewing of it to really process everything that happened. But yeah, I mean, it was a creative take on the whole like assassin genre, and it's got Cronenberg-esque fingerprints all over it. The gore and the violence was really well done. Definitely echoes like History of Violence and Eastern Promises, a lot of those Cronenberg movies.
Yep.
And the acting I thought was phenomenal. Both of the leads did like a really great job selling their performances. And yeah, I did like it. It is growing on me as I watched it Friday. And it in the few days that I've had to kind of like think about it, I'm still thinking about it. And I'm still trying to like piece together some things. So it'll be interesting when we get into spoilers. You guys can maybe help me piece together a few things, because I was a little bit distracted while watching it. I had to like watch my kids simultaneously. And this is not a movie that you can really you have to pay attention to it. Otherwise, I think you'll be like me. And I feel like there's just some disconnect. But overall, I thought it was really well done. I love the story, the script, everything about it was good. Sean Bean, fucking awesome performance that he gives. And but yeah, like I need a second viewing so I can just like maybe bump it up a grade.
Stroker.
All right. I suggested this, so I'm like, and I knew I was going out on a limb on this one. This is like a Cronenberg movie. This can go anywhere.
Yeah, right.
This could be a disaster. And I watched it. First of all, it is beautiful. The way it's shot, I loved every frame. There are scenes I'm like, telling my wife, take a look at this. What? Look at this. She's like, what? I'm like, whatever, you little Luddite. I'm not talking to you anymore. I like this movie a lot. I thought the performances were fantastic. The guy, Chris Abbott, from It Comes at Night. But also, did you guys see the other movie that he did where he gets the hooker who starts cutting herself up, Piercing?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Highly suggest you see Piercing. In fact, that's a great double feature with this movie. You've got some body horror going on in here, of course, melding machine with man. I thought the concept of how you make this assassin and what it does to the person who has to constantly live in other people. Man, it was really, really good. I'm like Tim. I don't think I liked it as much as Jack. I wanted to just start Googling stuff and go, what, like, there's stuff. I'm like, am I too dumb? Do I not know?
Yeah.
Like the full thrust of this.
See, I did Google it, so
So did I.
I wanted to save it for like tonight, like to ask, and we could discuss it. But it's a really good movie, man. It's nice to see a super intelligent, well-made movie. Anytime that pops up in the genre, we have to like give it some props.
Yeah.
I also liked this. I also didn't outright love it, but I want to watch it again too because I was watching it after traveling all day and after like eating and drinking. I was just like exhausted, so I was on the struggle bus already.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that tainted me a little bit. Not that I didn't like it, but
just to jump in real quick, I think I watched this before Thanksgiving. I like worked from home or I got home early. I was like so much more focused than I ever am watching a movie. So maybe that's it. I got to pay attention more.
You had
while
to
watching it.
Yeah.
So like the slow parts I felt were very slow and it was making it hard for me to like keep my eyes open. But when it hits, those parts are as badass as anything done this year. So it felt like it was kind of a roller coaster in a way, but some of the valleys were very deep for me, I think, because I was exhausted. But then the peaks, I was like, Jesus, what the hell? You know,
yeah,
holy shit. I love the imagery too. I thought, I mean, we keep saying Cronenberg, but you know, it is his son. It's not the legend. Yeah. So Brandon Cronenberg also has a great visual eye.
He does.
So he did a lot of cool stuff. Although I will say the one thing was it more towards the beginning, he was purposely framing stuff in a weird manner. So if somebody was looking to the left, typically, you know, you want them on the opposite side of the frame. And he had it so they were like up against the frame looking off of it, which,
right.
You know, shows you that things are off, things are weird. But it went on for a long time. And I was starting to be like, okay, I get it. It's just getting annoying. So I thought just like kind of the pacing of the movie, I felt like, man, this guy's really on it. And then a couple times I'm like, all right. I want to watch a movie here. But I don't know. I think this dude's got a real talent. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. And I like that he continues the weird shit his father was doing. Like,
yes, thank you.
He's got the weird gene. I dig it.
And by the way, killer ending.
Yeah.
You can't say that about most movies.
I think that's part of the reason why I thumbs upped it. I was like, wow, they stuck the landing. And you have to think about it. And we haven't mentioned yet, Jennifer Jason Leigh crushes this movie.
I'm so glad she's made a comeback because she's amazing and everything.
Yeah. And thank God now she can actually do movies without taking her clothes off every time. So I can't believe it took her to like being 60 years old where she can do a movie with clothes on. Hollywood sucks ass. Telling you, it really does. I'd hate to be a woman in Hollywood. But she's amazing in this.
Please just try not to get take the nudity away from us, okay, Puritan? It's half of why I watch movies.
Yeah, but that's why you get like softcore porn stars and stuff to go in. But
is there nudity in Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter?
Yes, there is. Ooh. And there's one that you want to see nude that you don't see nude. I'm like, wow, what the hell was that about? But yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of lesbians.
It's a drinking word, but it should be mentioned that the lead, I forget her, the lead actress in this is Mandy from Mandy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did pick up on that.
Andrea Riseborough.
And she is so good. One of the great things about this movie is both leads have to play somebody who's at one point themselves and then at one point somebody else driving them.
Right.
And they both are amazing at it. And then there's just times where you're like, wait, who's in control right now?
Yeah.
And that just brought it to another level.
Can you imagine how different this movie would be if like she goes into his body and he's got to like act like walk like a woman. It could be if you change that one little thing, it becomes a complete comedy.
Yeah, just a little different movie if you do that.
What's the movie Chris Nolan made where they go into the dreams?
Inception.
Inception. So there's a real Inception vibe to this, but I really like the sci-fi way that they handled the possession thing with putting a chip in and the machinery and the studying that the person has to do. Like they did enough science talk for me to kind of buy it, and also to play into the whole, like Hunter, I think you said it, like the toll that this takes on people. The main character, the woman, I don't know what her character's name is in this, but she's been doing this for a while, and it's really messing with her.
Yeah.
And we should get into spoilers, actually.
Well,
before I
it's
get
like
into
method acting, right? So if you got an actor who does a lot of method acting, they usually have to see a shrink because they can't get out of the character that they're portraying. And this is what she's going through.
Yeah. So should we?
Sure.
By the way,
Spoilers?
before you ring the bell, Jack, you said there was enough science. Did you learn something in this movie?
No, because there were no ghosts in it.
I learned something about Sean Bean, but I'll tell you after the spoiler.
Oh,
Yeah, I got to talk about Sean Bean.
yeah.
You ready? Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie, go watch it and come back. Don't listen to us right now, but
Nope.
listen to us after.
Just pause.
You've been warned. What I learned was
Hell.
Sean Bean doesn't die in every movie he's in, like people think.
When he
This is
showed
great.
up, I said to
too.
my wife, he's going to die.
And then he survived after all that.
Oh, and that was brutal.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was probably my favorite part of the movie.
So when they said he survived, they just said it. They don't actually show it on screen. They just like say it in the background. I'm like, was Cronenberg like, you know what? I'm not going to let him die. So I'm just going to like put in a little.
Don't they show him in a wheelchair or something?
He's in a wheelchair.
I don't
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she
I'll do
visits him and he's in like this rehabilitation center. He's in a wheelchair with a patch. And by the way, I thought that
Oh my
thing
God, I
went in-
did forget. Oh, Jesus.
I
Never
thought
mind.
that thing went in his mouth, not his eye.
Yeah, I thought it went in his mouth too.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that he was alive. I mean, more surprised than when I saw Robert Englund had survived Lake of Placid 3.
Well, I mean, I wasn't that surprised. You know,
If
you
I was
saying that, I
told that
really
to
need to
my
watch this again. I completely forgot about that scene. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's one of the cool things. Again, I'm sorry I can't remember her character's name, but the main chick,
Yes.
when she comes out of the first killing, and she wasn't able to shoot herself, but she is shot by the cops and whatever. She comes out and then she does the test. She mentions that she wants to see her husband, and Jennifer Jason Leigh has to remind her that she's separated from her husband.
Mm.
She couldn't remember that. And then she's rehearsing the way that she talks
Yes.
to her family. And so she's putting on an act when she's in the body. Then she comes out and she's not even living a real life.
Right. She can't separate at all anymore,
Yeah.
to the point where she
Mhm.
doesn't even exist.
And that was one of the elements that I thought like elevated this movie. It wasn't just like somebody comes out and it's like, oh, I drink a lot because my job is hard. This was like, I have no identity,
Yeah.
and my humanity is like shriveling away.
I thought that was like the allegory for the whole movie, though, was that like these companies, like a social media and like all these brands, like they get inside our head and they like scramble us up so we don't even know who like our own identity is. After a while, that was kind of like the takeaway, I think, from that whole, her forgetting who she is and stuff, and working for like this company that fucks with people's brains essentially and their lives. So yeah, I thought that was like a cool little spin.
Yeah, and the ending when basically she had to be rid of them to be free to, I guess, keep kicking ass at her job or whatever. I like that
Yeah.
kind of build
Well,
up to that too.
and this is why I like the ending. Was it was kind of like Jennifer Jason Leigh is like crafting the perfect assassin, right?
Yeah.
So at the end, when she can't remember that she regretted killing the butterfly, it was like, okay, I've cut off that last shred of hesitation that she's going to have next time she goes in for a mission. And she was trying to groom a replacement for her.
That
Right.
ending. I was just like, what? What?
What
And
was the? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that my jaw dropped.
Oh yeah.
It's a hallucination. No. You don't.
I
see-
do. Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, what was the deal? This is the one thing that I was kind of missing with the kid. Like her son was like possessed by someone.
Jennifer
something
Jason Lee was
Jason
in the
Lee.
Sun.
Oh, is that what they were? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why he
Yeah.
says, "Pull me out" at the end.
'Cause
Yeah,
when the kid was shot, I was like, that's a tough kid just standing there. Like, wow.
yeah.
And then no, let me empty this clip inside my own child. Like, what?
I did have a question though about she's making her replacement to be the best, right? But throughout the entire movie, the main character only like half succeeded. Like she could never fully finish the job correctly. So how is she supposed to be the best? You know what I mean?
Just think how much worse the others are.
Well, I think it
Maybe
was
that's
that
what it is.
They don't
she
get to
was-
that
she was-
point.
Yeah, she was really good at it, but I think it was that once she couldn't remember her regret of the butterfly, that was like her attaining. Like,
Then she'll be able to shoot herself going forward, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, but why?
or she'd
wasn't
be
she
able to send
sh-
other people in to do this kind of stuff. I don't
You
know.
did this research. Why was she not able to shoot herself to get herself out?
I didn't do that much research.
No. I'm like, even at the end, I'm going, so all right. So what happened to her along the way where she can't, and it's pulling the plug to get you back into your real world.
yeah.
Is it that she likes being in that person so much that she can't end it, and they have to find a way to
Well, I would
get her out?
imagine that even if it's the way of pulling yourself out, it's probably a hard thing to do to
Yeah.
actually
Yeah, but
put a gun in your mouth and pull the trigger.
you know what's going to happen anyway. Either one shot or a hail of gunfire when cops come in.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
wasn't sure if like that was the person inside still, like the person she possessed.
That's
Oh.
true.
If they were fighting back, I never felt like that was super clear. But clearly, I'm not. I need to pay attention more when I'm rewatching the movie.
I feel like that also might be like a metaphor for something like like we're just unable to detach ourselves from like this world that's been built up inside us, and that we need somebody else like help. I guess that's just my guess. I don't know if that's true.
Sniffing
Maybe.
your own farts over there, huh?
Hey, Brandon Cronenberg, if you're listening to this episode, you have an invitation to come on the show
Yes, explain
and
your
talk
movie
about
to us.
this.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too dumb and I was too tired. So
Yeah, I definitely. This is going to be one of those movies where I watch it back and like the same thing. I think I was talking before the show about that movie Raw, and how I watched that recently for a second time, and like I loved that movie the first time I saw it, and I loved it even more the second time I saw it. So I feel like this is one of those movies where I really enjoyed it. I just need another viewing of it to fully absorb all these little things, because it was such a well-made movie, and I'm sure there's all types of Easter eggs in it that we just didn't see and catch that first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if there's any movie you watch this year where you can't be tired or distracted, this is the one.
Yeah,
exactly.
totally.
It ended, and I was like, "Shit, I'm gonna have to watch this again."
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to like watch it again the next day. I just didn't get a chance to, because like I just, it was great though. What I do take away from it, I really enjoyed.
The visuals when the guy starts to take over his own body again, and she pull apart, and like half her face like comes off.
Oh yeah,
Wow, that is so amazing looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
The effects, like the practical effects, were so well done. But I mean, you'd expect that from a Cronenberg.
Yeah,
I think this is going to age well. You know.
Yeah,
I hope
Yeah,
so.
I think so too.
I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it though. Like, I mean,
Well, I
This
heard a
is-
lot of buzz about it. So when we mentioned this might be the movie, I was like kind of expecting this was going to be a movie we're going to talk about, because it'd been all over Twitter for the past couple of weeks.
yeah,
It's- It's a sci-fi movie, really. It's not so much a horror movie. And it's elevated sci-fi that I think it's just going to go right over the heads of most people. They're not
Hmm.
going to want to bother.
Yeah, and I felt that when I was watching. But the thing that was going through my head, I was like, I'm watching a quality movie. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I was saying about like the framing at the beginning was like cool, but then I was getting on my nerves. But I would rather watch that a million times over than some of the found footage shit I have to watch.
Oh, yeah.
like blasted through. Like,
Really?
like he's thinking through the shots, which I appreciate, and maybe I'll appreciate it even more when I'm watching it when I'm not exhausted. But Yeah,
I
it was
really
definitely quality.
I really enjoyed like the way it was colorized too. Like it had like that I don't know, it had like this weird tint to it. And then a lot of like the sex scenes, like that, especially that one sex scene where he's doing his girlfriend or whatever. It like had in that blue room. Like I really loved like the colorization of some of the shots too and some of the scenes. Like I thought that was pretty cool
I
filmmaking.
watched that one a lot.
I know you did.
I think that's where the uncut stuff must happen.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's your
Yeah,
uncut.
I guess I just watched the regular version because I don't remember seeing anything too
Yeah, I don't
overly
remember anything too
graphic.
nuts.
Um,
Remember some boobies. That was about it.
yeah,
Yeah, no, a friend of mine like texted me what he saw, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't see that." Like, I think you see like
some cock and balls.
and some
It's
labia.
close.
I think you see some labia.
It gets down.
Oh,
Do you?
I do
Yeah.
not remember that.
I know I saw a male.
Definitely.
fetus.
definitely did not see any labia.
Well, I guess I really need to rewatch this.
See your labia.
Well, this is great. I mean, I watched Wolf of Snow Creek twice. I definitely want to go back and see this again. So it's great that we've got a few movies that are like, I want to revisit that like right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
It's good to
not
have
like,
movies I can actually put on my list for the year.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like Vampires versus the Bronx. I mean, elevated horror.
I might
Tremor to
actually,
Shrieker Island.
I might actually buy the Blu-ray or the 4K if it's available of this movie, just because it has repeat value. I don't think I'm gonna only watch it again just once, and if I'm gonna spend another like whatever it was $6, I might as well just put that towards a fucking Blu-ray.
That's true.
You know
That's
what?
true.
It's the right length. I think it was one of those 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. This would
Yes.
be rough. So he hit the right length for strangeness. You know?
Yeah,
What was
like
that? Did
I
you guys
wanted to
hear
go
a
back.
Weird
And,
noise just now.
My doorbell just rang, which is weird. 'Cause
Oh.
it's 9:30 at night.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
it's probably if I get killed in the next 5 minutes, I'll miss you guys.
There's a
It's
Jersey.
It's Nigel
Nigel
Bach.
Your death.
Nigel Bach.
Well, shit, I don't remember what I was going to say about it. Oh well. So yeah,
Yeah.
nobody
Probably
should really
wouldn't.
listen to me as I talk about this movie because I was just fucking tired. But some of it has really stuck in my head.
Yeah,
Just every time the violence would happen, I was like, God damn, that's a close-up shot.
The violence is
Yeah.
extreme in this when it happens. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit-piercing scalps and skulls and stuff. Like
a lot
oh,
of weird stuff with blood too. I noticed like real close shots of blood and like blood on fingertips. Like I don't know why.
Heart-shaped blood at the end.
Yeah,
Oh, that's weird. Weird.
one other thing I wanted to mention quick was first of all, Sean Bean. I mean, it's just the best.
Oh.
But when he first is introduced to the boyfriend and he just epically shits on him to his face,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, I don't care who you are. If somebody talked to me like that, like we would be fighting. There's just,
Well,
that was insane. The stuff he said.
you save it for later and blow up like you did.
Sean Bean is like one of those weird like actors who can like whether he's playing a villain or a hero, like you fucking love him. Like
He's awesome.
Yeah.
he does both so well. Like I mean, the character in Game of Thrones where he's just like
That's why he was the perfect guy to play Boromir. in Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings.
because he's like a likable douchebag. Like you're rooting for him, but he's a douche.
Was it Patriot Games where he's
Yeah.
I think he's a terrorist and you're still like kind of rooting for him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Yeah.
If he was my girlfriend's father, dude, I would not like to have any interaction with him. That'd be
That
terrifying.
scene where
He'd
that
get
guy
out
though
of
has to go back, pretend that he's drunk, and then he goes back to kill the family. That scene's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even there, Sean Bean is like, I'm drunk. And then he goes for the sucker punch.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no,
That's good stuff.
it's a good movie. So
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I give it 1.5 thumbs up. I'd give it 2, but I blew half my thumb off with a firecracker. No, real, I'm
Fair
joking. I had both.
I was cut off by a cleaver by Mandy.
Oh yeah. God damn, that was nasty. All right. So I guess we'll wrap it up here.
All right.
Next
Yeah.
week
Yeah.
we are doing Run, correct? The Hulu
C.
original.
With a
Sarah
special
Paulson.
guest.
We may or may not have a special guest.
We will have a special guest.
We will have a special
con-
guest.
It's confirmed.
Oh, well then Chad Lutsky's going to be on. So
There we go.
Get your Jesus Christ Dracula Hunter Killer jokes ready.
And get ready because I'm going to review Inhuman Witch. So
Oh man.
this is the thing you're going to wait for all week. I know it.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. And we'll have Lake Placid versus Anaconda. So it's going to be a
This
big
is
show.
all good stuff.
Big show. Big show.
We might as well just
Really
wrap it
big
up. after
show.
that.
It's gonna be a 3-hour long show next week. I have a feeling.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
No, we can't paleo cheese this.
All right, everybody's limited on their movie
Have to-
input.
Yeah.
Hard stop.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to figure that out. Damn it. I'm only going to be able to talk about Lake Placid movies. God
Yeah.
damn. This sucks. All right. Until next week. Catch you later.
Later.
Smoke weed.